What's up, guys? It's another beautiful day in the neighborhood. It rained earlier. Looks like it's going to rain again, but this time of the year you got to get out when the getting's good. You can't just assume anything. Forget about your weather apps and all those predictions because they're often way off base. It's just the way it is. Oh yes, we're going to walk the muddy path. It is muddy. That's okay. Hopefully they'll fix this little road pretty soon. When we get down to the end, I'm going to show you the road I was talking about before that has we got half the road. Looking pretty good. Looking forward to seeing it complete. And as always, I want to thank all my supporters, especially the ones that have donated this month. I really appreciate it. It means a lot. And if you want to be one of them, all the links are down below. PayPal, buy me a coffee, wherever you want to do it, and I'll send you an email and some things in that email as a way of saying thank you for being generous. Now let's talk about the vaccines here in Siem Reap for foreigners. I got a letter. A letter. What is this, the 1970s? No, I got an email from the U.S. Embassy a couple days ago telling me that starting tomorrow, right now it's the 19th, starting on the 20th at 8 o'clock in the morning, at the main provincial hospital here in town. That's the big one in the downtown area, right by the old market there. That any foreigners who want the vaccine will be able to receive it free of charge. The only caveat is you do have to either be registered on their website, or you can go down to the municipal hall, just kind of like the city hall kind of deal here, and register in person if you're not registered on the website. Then you can then show your registration card, you show your passport, and they will, hello, and they will hook you up with a vaccine, give you a jab, give you a poke. Then you go back in about a month, I think, 3 weeks or a month, and get your second one. So that's pretty good. I mean, if you remember when this pandemic first started gaining a little steam, the Prime Minister here in Cambodia made an announcement and said, you know, hey, whether you're a local, whether you're a foreigner, if you catch that virus here in Cambodia, we're going to take care of you free of charge. We're not going to charge you to take care of it because we don't want people dying on our land, obviously. Not a good sign for a tourism town. But as you all know, as it got more serious, and it was obvious that it's a good possibility a lot of people were going to get sick. Well, then they kind of changed their minds about that, at least for the foreigners. You know, it's like well, now if you want to come in, $50,000 in life insurance to cover any treatment, $2,000 deposit to cover all your testing and quarantine. But the vaccines are going to be free. even if you are not a local. Now, to the best of my understanding, this is going to be the Sinovac vaccine. That's the majority of the one they have here. I know they mentioned they're going to spend like a couple million dollars on purchasing some of the Western vaccines, you know, maybe Moderna, Pfizer, whatever it is. And so I think a lot of foreigners might just wait for that one, simply because the Sinovac only gives you like a 50% efficacy rating, effectiveness. And the other ones are like 95, 98% after you have them both. So we shall see how that plays out. Also, Singlai got her first vaccine the other day. She went to the site. She did get the Sinovac. She's got to go back in a couple of weeks and get her second shot. And then she'll be all set. She had no side effects from it. She wasn't tired. I know a lot of people who get vaccines sometimes have side effects. And so far she's had none. She hasn't been any more tired than usual. Her arm doesn't hurt. She didn't get an upset tummy or anything. I guess the only real side effect she has is that since she got the Chinese vaccine, now she can speak fluent Chinese. What do you know? I told her she should have waited for the Western ones so she could speak fluent English. That's a joke. No side effects so far. So we'll see how she does in her second one. Good thing about the rainy season is that after it rains, like it just did, you're walking around, you're outside, it's nice and breezy. Got a nice little breeze going. Got some cloud cover, so the sun's not too brutal. And here you go with the roads. We're walking on it. We've been walking on it, you probably noticed. Over on that side, as you see, dirt and gravel. But on this side, as you can see, they got the cement, they got the streets. People are driving on it, people are walking on it. And it's going on up ahead, as you can see, and as soon as they're done with all that, they're going to come back up this side. And it goes from all the way down there to all the way up there. All the way up there. So this whole thing will be paved, both sides. Then they'll do the sidewalks. Should be a nice place to walk. It'll look really nice. Yeah, man, look at that sky. The sky is gorgeous. One thing I always notice, that's one reason why I still like watching videos from other people here when they're walking around, is because you don't always notice it when you're walking, or just, you know, sometimes you got your head down, you're trying to pay attention to the road, trying not to fall into a hole, watch out for traffic. But when I watch it back, I look and go, wow, look at that sky. That sky was beautiful. Should have paid more attention to that when I was out. And one other thing, that introduction, by the way, at the beginning of the video, I made that real quick on the stuff I have on my Chromebook until I get my phone back. So I didn't have access to the files that I had saved for my regular intro, so I just made that one. Probably won't be a permanent one, just for a couple more days. Hopefully I'll be getting my phone back on Tuesday. Should be all fixed and ready to go. In the meantime, I'll just use Second Life's phone. But that can be an issue sometimes because, you know, with only the one, we have to share data from the phone to the Chromebook. The boy, Pena, he loves playing games, and he loves his game. He can sit there and play all day, and he doesn't want to stop, so I can go out and make a video and then transfer it to my Chromebook and then wait for it to upload and all that good stuff. So most of the time I'm just like, okay, play the game. Give them something to do until the school's open, and hopefully we can get them into one of those. And speaking of that, that was a question I had that, this road's got a lot of holes in there. Yeah, look at that. Somebody said, I did a video a couple of years ago about teaching English with no college degree, with just a TOEFL, no experience, and had a recent comment on there asking me that if that advice I gave is still sound and will still work even during the pandemic. Yeah, I mean, right now, and for most of this troubling times that we've had the last year and a half, the schools have been closed and shuttered down. They were open for like a month and a half earlier, and then we got that new outbreak, that new surge, and yeah, so they shut down for about 9-10 months, and then they opened up for a month and a half, and then they've been shut down ever since. There is no official word, like from a government agency, on when they're going to reopen. Optimistically, September or October of this year. Realistically, probably not until, I don't know, April or May of next year. That would be my guess, and it is just a guess. Just basing it on what I know about the conditions and the virus and all that good stuff. But the advice I gave, the advice I've always given, whether it's in person, on a video, in my book, Live in Cambodia, A Guide for Living in the Kingdom of Wonder, under the teaching section, is the same, and it will apply. Once everything opens and gets back to normal. They need teachers. You have a TOEFL. You'll be good to go at most of the schools, but you have to have your feet on the ground here, boots to the ground. You have to go out there and pass out your packets and wait for them to call you back in for an interview. You know, dress up. I mean, all the advice I've given over the last 3.5 years, still applies. So the advice I gave is still good advice. It'll still work. But because the schools are closed, you can't really do much with it right now. There's nobody's hiring, of course. Some of the schools decided not to go with an online option. Some of the bigger ones did, but they got rid of some teachers, and the ones that stayed, they had to take a big pay cut because, of course, families losing their income means they can't pay to send their children to an international school. Now, how that's going to play out once the pandemic is done and things start opening up, I don't know. But I do know when it first started hitting really hard, a lot of expats, a lot of foreigners in this country took off back home, back to their homes, because they wanted to be with their family. They didn't know, how bad it was going to be or anything. They didn't want to get stuck here, not be able to get back. And a lot of those people were teachers. So when the country does decide to open the schools back up, I think when the schools open, a month or two after that, when they start getting back to capacity and they start getting more students, I think there's going to be a big hiring wave. And I think if you're here, ready to go, and this is my opinion, I think it might be a little bit easier than normal to find a teaching job here. But it's really a matter of timing and figuring out when all of this is going to happen. Now, I will let you know as soon as the government, of course, lets us know anything. Don't know when that might be. Don't look like we're going to be able to get through here. But of course, I will let you know. And if you are coming over here for that purpose, maybe you can prepare yourself, get your timing down, and get here to pick the right moment. And again, if you're retiring, if you're thinking about retiring here, starting in October, they're going to open the borders if you're fully vaccinated. So it'll be a lot easier process. But basically, yes, my advice that I give about teaching still applies. Nothing about that has changed, just schools not being open. All right, we're gonna go down this alley here, see what we got. I think we can get up there. We're not sure which way we have to go to coming to a fork in the road. Which way do you want to go? It's like that movie Wrong Turn. Take the wrong bath, hillbilly cannibal killers are gonna get you. Nobody wants that experience. But again, it's a very nice day out today. Glad I could get out and enjoy it and finally get another video up for you guys. I appreciate your watching, liking, and subscribing, and all of that good internet stuff. Hey, don't forget to check out all my links down below if you want to help support us. It's always appreciated. I love my supporters, and I always say thank you very much, and I always will. Links down below to PayPal, buymeacoffee.com, and my Patreon. Other channels, good channels that are vlogging in and from Cambodia, all their links are down below. So get yourself some of that good information on those channels as well. And my social media and my books I sell separately. Those are all down below, those links. And I appreciate it. All right, looks like I'm going to have to be like Jesus and try to walk on the water. Or be like Moses, try to part the seas, or just stand really close to this fence and hope I don't slip off. There we go. We made it. All right, from some back alley in Cambodia. Hey, buddy. Vicious dogs. Vicious dog. You're okay. Don't start whining now, dogs. You're the one that started barking at me. All right. Again, thank you guys for watching. Thank you to my supporters. And from a back alley somewhere in Siem Reap. I couldn't really pinpoint where, but I will talk to you guys in the next one.